So for today's read aloud, I'm going to be reading the book Ocean Sunlight, How Tiny Plants Feed the Seas by Molly Bang and Penny Chisholm. And for the lesson, I'm going to be creating a KWL chart. So I'm going to have 3 different poster papers, and each one is going to say know, want to know, and then learn on the third one, or learned on the third one. And we're just going to go through it as I read the book. And so to start off, I'm going to have the students look at the pictures and tell me if they have any predictions or what they already know that the ocean does, and what the sunlight does for the ocean and different parts of the environment. And then I'll also have students tell me what they want to know, which I'll put under the W chart. So that would definitely start us off, and then that gives us an idea of what we're looking for when we start reading the book. And then I also go over some vocabulary words, and then I have them look at the pictures and just tell me some predictions. And yeah, just be sure to write down all of these students' ideas and get ideas from a variety of different students in the class. Yeah. So ocean sunlight. Dive into the sea, now flip over slowly and look up. The water is shimmering with light, my light. I am your sun, your golden star. All ocean life depends on me. So does all life on land. In your forests, prairies, and your gardens, green plants catch my sunlight energy. They pump in water from the ground and pull in carbon dioxide from the air. Plants use my energy to build these molecules into sugar. All the while, the plants send oxygen into the air, and oxygen you breathe. This is photosynthesis, which is plants making life with my light. My light. So there I'd take a pause and I'd ask the students what they learned from these past 2 pages, and then I'd also write down the word photosynthesis, because that's a big vocab word, especially because it's bolded. Animals, yes, animals like you eat the plants, or you eat other animals that have eaten plants. You are links in food chains, the chains of life. And as you eat, you break apart the sugar from the plants. Crack, and use it as energy, my energy, to live. You breathe out carbon dioxide, and the plants pull it back in. Everything is connected. All ocean life is part of food chains too, and every ocean food chain starts when plants catch my light. But where are the ocean's plants? And then throughout this, I'd make sure to go around and make sure all of the students are able to see the pictures. The seaweeds you find growing along the shore feed some sea creatures living there. But in the vast open ocean far from land, do you see seaweed forests, seaweed gardens, seaweed prairies? I'd have the students answer that question first, and then I'd read it and I'd say, no, you see no green at all, none. In the open ocean, you see only blue water. Then, where are the ocean's green plants? I'd have the students predict on that one. And then I would start reading again. They're right before your eyes. They're everywhere in countless shapes and sizes, but they're so small you need a microscope to see them. A billion of these tiny plants, that's a lot, are drifting in your seas. They are phytoplankton. Phytoplankton form from the great invisible pasture of the sea. So then this is where I'd stop and I'd write down the word phytoplankton as a vocabulary word, and I would also then ask the students what they want to learn, what they want to add to our learned section of our chart, the L section. Then I'd start reading again. Take a deep breath, which I'd have the students take a deep breath, and then I'd read half the oxygen you breathe every day comes from green plants on land. The other half is bubbling out of all the tiny phytoplankton floating in your seas. Phytoplankton can grow very fast. If it has enough light and nutrients, one phytoplankton can grow and become 2 in just a day or so. It splits into identical twins. So the billion phytoplankton in the oceans make another billion of themselves every few days. And just as fast as they make more of themselves, they're gobbled up. Animals, mostly tiny ones called zooplankton, eat about a billion phytoplankton every day. So phytoplankton numbers stay about the same. As the zooplankton grow and make more of themselves, bigger creatures gobble them up, and about as fast as they are made. So then I would ask students what they learned on the past couple pages, and we would write it down on our chart again. And so it goes. My light energy, first caught by phytoplankton, flows through the ocean's chains of life from the tiniest green plants to the biggest fish or whale. But here's a puzzle for you. My light cannot reach deeper than the ocean's thin top layer, so that is where the phytoplankton have to live. The deep cold waters underneath are pitch black, darker than the darkest moonless, starless night. Phytoplankton cannot live there, but lots of animals do. Where do these animals get their food? Some use their glowing lights to lure animals and eat them. Some eat each other. Some swim up at night to feed on phytoplankton. Others wait. So then I'd ask the students what they learned back on the past couple of pages, and we would add them to our L section of our chart. They wait for snow. This snow isn't made of ice. Marine snow is tiny flakes from living things. As animals and phytoplankton live and die, their poop and mucus, carcasses and guts sink down and down like falling flakes of snow. Marine snow is nutritious food for bacteria and other creatures living in the sunless belly of the sea. Nothing goes to waste. As bacteria and animals eat the falling snow, they break it down and push leftover nutrients and carbon dioxide out into the black, deep seawaters. But wait, phytoplankton all live in the sunlit surface waters miles above. They need those nutrients to make more of themselves, and without more phytoplankton, the ocean animals will die. How can those deep, dark waters, rich with nutrients, rise all those miles back up into the light so the phytoplankton can use them once again? I, your sun, pour my light onto earth each day. My sunlight powers winds that build great storms and mix the water layers of the seas. My light helps drive enormous currents. They thrust the deep sea waters, rich with nutrients and carbon dioxide, up, 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 all the way back up to the sun-filled topmost layer where the billion phytoplankton pull those nutrients and carbon dioxide in again and catch my light again. Now they can keep my sunlight energy flowing, ever flowing, through new chains of life. Then I would ask the students what they learned on the past couple pages, and I would write it down on the L section. I am your sun. My light gives life to your green earth and to your deep and restless seas. So then these are just some extra notes about photosynthesis and what about ocean areas from land, what exactly is marine snow, and it's just a few extra definitions that you could go over with the students based on what you are feeling. But then the last thing I would do is I would create, or we'd just have a discussion and the students would be able to ask questions and we'd go over the book. I'd have some students summarize it and ask them what they learned. And I would hang up our charts for the students to be able to see it for the rest of the semester or year or however long the teacher wants to keep them up. But I just feel this is a good book to go over and discuss with your students so they can start learning about parts of the ocean because there's so much that we do not know to it. Thank you.